Welcome back to our fascinating walk through history. Today we're going back far, really far, beyond recorded history, to the beginning of human ingenuity. And we're starting with a curious little discovery in Europe. Imagine you're near Heidelberg in Germany, digging a pit when suddenly you stumble upon something extraordinary, a bone. But not just any bone, a human jawbone, massive, strong, and with such powerful teeth. This jawbone belonged to someone who lived a long time ago and must have been quite the biter. In another instance, also in Germany, an equally intriguing find was made. A human skull with thick ridges instead of a forehead like ours. That made the scientist wonder, if all our thinking happens behind our foreheads, could these people not have thought as much as we do because of their different skull structure? Well, even though they had powerful bites, thinking might not have been their strongest suit. But hold up, you must be asking, when did these people live? What were they like? How did they live? These are all great questions, and the truth is, we don't know everything yet. These people didn't know how to write, so their stories weren't recorded, but we're making new discoveries all the time. Since the discoveries in Germany, people have carried on searching and digging and have made some startling finds. In Asia and Africa, more bones have been found, some at least as old as the Heidelberg jaw. These were our ancestors, who may have been already using stones as tools more than 150,000 years ago. When real history begins, people already had all the things we have today: clothes, houses, tools, grains for making bread, animals for food, tools for hunting and protection. Yet, with all of these things, there must have been a first time. Someone must have made the discovery. Rewind to these cavemen. They invented talking, real conversations with each other, using words. They also invented something else that was wonderful too: pictures. Many of these can still be seen today, scratched and painted on the walls of caves. The Ice Age lasted for an unimaginably long time, many tens of thousands of years, which was all just as well, for otherwise these people would not have had time to invent all these things. But gradually the earth grew warmer and the ice retreated to the high mountains, and people, who by now were much like us, learned with the warmth to plant grasses and then grind the seeds to make a paste, which they could bake in the fire. And this was bread. They also found a new and more convenient way of making tools. They discovered metals. It began with some green stones which turned into copper when melted in a fire. They discovered that if you add just a little of another very rare metal, it makes the copper stronger. That metal is iron, and a mixture of iron and copper is called bronze. Take a last look at these people dressed in skins as they paddled their boats made of hollowed-out tree trunks toward their villages of huts on stilts, bringing grain or perhaps salt from mines in the mountains. They drink from splendid pottery vessels. And when it comes to fashion, our ancestors weren't left behind either. Jewelry was another of their inventions. They crafted beautiful adornments from stones, shells, bones, and eventually even gold. These weren't just fancy accessories, but likely held significant cultural and symbolic meanings. They were people just like us, often unkind to one another, often cruel and deceitful. But even then, a mother might sacrifice her life for her child, and friends might die for each other. No more, but also no less often than people do today. But just once in a while, when we are talking or eating some bread, using tools, or warming ourselves by the fire, we should remember those early people with gratitude, for they were the greatest inventors of all time. So you see, these prehistoric humans were a clever and innovative bunch. Each invention built upon the other, each discovery leading to another breakthrough. From language to art, housing to fashion, and fire to metal. They truly were the greatest inventors of all time. But that's all for this episode. Remember to stay curious, stay excited, and stay tuned for our next thrilling journey into the annals of history. And of course, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Until next time, happy history exploring.